We got a little bit of intersectionality to talk about when it comes to being a tech. Tech people are often geeks. Geeks are often the type of individuals who love to collect things, knickknacks, paraphernalia that remind them of certain times and certain movies that they watched with their friends that they could all attach to. Now, because of this, we have multiple markets, multiple secondary markets that rely on perceived demand, an artificial or perceived scarcity. A lot of things have changed recently, and there's a lot of people throwing money into investments that aren't supposed to be investments. They're supposed to be just things to spark us joy. And I want to talk a little bit about that within the collector's industry, the kind of stuff that we're running into that with. Now, right back here, I have cards. I got a Wayne Gretzky, a Brett Hall, and a graded Wayne Gretzky. Back in the day, I just wanted to pull a Wayne Gretzky so bad, and everyone at school did too in grade 3. The problem was that people had gotten into the card market in order to make money instead of just to enjoy the cards. So you could still enjoy the cards, you just weren't going to get a lot of money out of it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, nobody actually made money off of it. I'm looking at you Pokemon cards. I can't get over how many scalpers are fighting with children in Walmart to get Pokemon cards. It seems like the 90s and comic books and cards all over again. I feel very strongly we're getting there. But your techs, I'm not talking to techs about Pokemon cards. Techs get into other things. Bitcoin is not on this list. Bitcoin is really good when it comes to value. And you can argue about that. But when it comes to different things. Now, one thing I want to hyper focus on here is the Star Wars retro. The retro. These things are overpriced. Christ. They're like, what is it, 30 bucks on the peg in Canada, or at least 25, and then, after tax, for something like this. But it is perceived scarcity. So back in the day, everyone loved Star Wars action figures. I remember being at the Aberfoyle flea market, and the most expensive toys was always Star Wars. If you found Star Wars, you had to get them. I still remember opening the Toy Fair magazine and being like, whoa, these were so much. And as a side story, my brother convinced his best friend to sell his Star Wars figures at the Scouts sale. And then my brother purchased them and then resold them for more money. Wow. Wow, that stuff happens. That stuff happens. I'm sorry. That was his best friend. I am never going to die with a lot of money if that's how you have to get money. But anyways, so Star Wars decides, sorry, Ken or whoever decides that they can get into this market of rare figures by reproducing them. The thing that they didn't understand to begin with is only the high end was actually making money in the Star Wars market at the time. By the time eBay had run for about 15 years, the cost of your standard vintage Star Wars figure had dropped to about $3. And I know this because I professionally deal in them, I have for quite a while. I've kept an eye on the prices, but what's bothering me is that these things, like Boba Fett, he comes out, he's overpriced, just overpriced, not to a point where it's a good figure, so the price is like this high because it has X many points of posability. Every now and then some figures come out where the price is just so damn high. It's because of like a collector's figure. Now, pause. Collector's figure, investment, perceived investment. This is not an investment. This is not an investment, okay, guys? Not an investment. Now, with gold, silver, bullion, that's different. There's only so much made. You can't reproduce it. You can't make any more. If you had 20 all of the gold in the world, you could put it on a beach. You could probably walk around it in under 5 minutes. If it was like a square, just square by square, it wouldn't be all that big. There's not all that much gold out there, which is why it's good to go out and get that gold, because at the end of a certain time, this isn't actually going to be worth any money. And the reason is that these degrade. You're going to find over time, if you leave this in the sun, it's going to fade. The glue is going to separate from the bubble after a certain amount of time. And when you get the figure out, you find certain things like G.I. Joes, for example. The spring, the elastic in the middle, it just perishes. No fault of anybody. It just perishes. Now, the G.I. Joe's original line aren't really worth a whole lot these days in comparison to many things. It's pennies on the dollar almost, but it's because they reproduced the G.I. Joe line and the figures looked so much better, so many points of articulation. Everyone went out there, they wanted to get new ones because they did better. This isn't better. This isn't better. This is so it's better than the original one, but it's not remarkably. But the thing that really upsets me about this is selling for like 25 bucks and on one peg at Walmart, whoop, oh, it disappears, and then it pops up on the Dollarama peg for $4, which is exactly where I got it. Guys, they're just trying to get the money out of you. They're shaking you down at this point. Just like those cards over there. This is supposed to be for children. Those cards were supposed to be for children. Those cards are never going to be worth anything. I don't think anything Star Wars is going to be really worth anything. Like, let's face it, anyone that collected Power of the Force, they know right now, anything that was released in the 90s, basically, it's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. It looks good. It looks real good. But nobody wants them because all the collectors have already bought them. Everyone who has them has them. They've overproduced them. Just like comic books, you can get so many great ones for 50 cents each, and I love it. I freaking love 50-cent comic books. They're freaking awesome. But if we want to invest, maybe the giblets aren't always the best things to invest in. Taking a look at Magic the Gathering up there. Magic the Gathering is something they can re-release card sets in, and they can manipulate. The market manipulates it. Papa Hasbro got into the magic industry. They bought magic, and then they started to manipulate things on the inside to help a certain few on the inside and nobody on the outside. Now, this is just accepted information. We get situations where, so we can easily see the fundamentals of the market have changed just within collectibles, because we get crossovers like crazy, like Capcom versus Street Fighter, Capcom versus Marvel, you know what I mean? We get things that are just meshing so beautifully, and as they mesh, the market behind it is meshing too. And the markets are full of people who are interested in making the corporation, Papa Hasbro, more money, so they find ways to game the system. Like I was saying, all my small towns and villages were basically started up. If there was a river, is there a river? Is there a road crossing? And then did the train go through town? If you get these three things, you get a whole manipulation of power. And like, so originally it was mills, and then the train came. So if you were the guy at the mill and the train didn't come through your town, whoever made the mill in the town that did, they were going to get all the power. They were going to get all of the stuff. But society has changed, and now we have the power to move the rivers that would have made the mills, and that's what we do. We go upstream and we take the water because we can. What I'm saying is, marketing in the back has gotten to the point where, guys, so as investing goes, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your mom. Might care about you, but other than that, nobody cares about you. So if you're going to be putting your money into investing and things like this, you're going to eat shit, guys. It's not going to work. Trust me. I have all kinds of crap behind me. So now, so you get your magic, right? Magic the Gathering, you get this stuff. Now here's the end game of all of it. Okay. What if nobody wants to buy the product because nobody alive knows about the IP? We have a lot of really collectible things from pre-boomer times that was once considered worth so much that is almost worthless now because nobody knows the IP. Abbott and Costello, people are starting to forget about Sonny and Cher. We know Cher. We don't know Sonny and Cher. We've got to make a documentary about that, though, legitimately, how Sonny was taking all of the, how Sonny took all of the, wow. There really was a controlling thing back there, men and women, eh? Anyways, people don't know what to invest in anymore. Investments have been going up, working has not been going up. Everybody's looking for ways to invest. And I'm wondering if investors are going to eat some poop soon because S&P 500 has just been going up and up and up and up so much that it's distracting. I mean, so Trump did a lot of disagreeable things to get where he is. In order to be good in business, you have to be disagreeable. You have to make enemies. I'm not saying anything about him as a president. I'm talking about business. And we all know business is full of bastards. Just outright bastards who only care about themselves. Narcissistic people get ahead. Psychopathic people get ahead, and they get put into higher positions because they can fight, and being disagreeable is what we're supposed to do. It's getting really hard to figure out how to invest money and figure out where to invest money. But I'm telling you guys, for now, Bitcoin might be a better, if you're thinking of investing money, I'm saying Bitcoin might be a better option than retro collectibles, because this thing was sold at a high price to a certain amount of people to skim the cream, for example. And then it went right to the dollar store. And any dream of the people skimming the cream had to have these at a certain value just is gone. It's gone. The idea that this is worth something is only in the heads of the manufacturers and the people they sell them to. And there's also more to it than that, but I'm going to leave you there for now. Anyways, that's it for me. Nev from Nev's Tech Bets. Have a good one. Take care of each other.